Hi, everyone. This is Jeff Clark with another episode of the Pater podcast here at thegoldadvisor.com. I'm glad you're joining us. We have an exciting one today because did you know, ladies and gentlemen, this company got the first open pit expansion production permit in Mexico since AMLO, the prior president, left office. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please help me welcome the CEO of Heliostar Metals, Charles Funk. Charles, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff.
So this was a kind of a big deal. I read this news and like, wow, this is quite significant. Not just for you as a company, but for perhaps even the industry in Mexico, the mining industry. So this is very positive. So Charles, first, walk us through getting this permit and what it means for you and the company.
Yeah, so we're really excited to restart the mining at San Augustine. We currently recover gold through residual leaching from the leach pads, but we're not stacking new material on. So each month we get a bit less and a bit less till eventually it would end. And so we needed to expand the mine to be able to continue that production. And so we submitted a permit to expand the pit in Q4 last year. We've met all the requirements and we're going to restart in Q4 this year. So, a huge boost for us. What it really means in hard dollars, at $3,000 gold price, we're going to make $40 million from this pit expansion. That's a huge step in terms of what it means for cash flow, de-risking us as a company. In the bigger picture, I think, as you said, it has the potential to have wider implications. Every permit is different and nuanced and local, but if other companies have the success that we've had, I think it speaks to confidence in the approach that the new Mexican government's had for mining, which is to allow it where it's supported to continue to expand.
That's right. Now you're gearing up for that now, and production is uh, tentatively slated to start by Q4, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the next steps we'll undertake is so that we've got to move it, like the local power line that goes into the plant. We've got to move a road, move the vegetation, stockpile the topsoil, sorry, and then a little bit of clearing, and we're in it. So we should be putting new material on the leach pad in early Q4, and then it takes a little bit of time to percolate out and come into the plant. So in late Q4 we should be seeing gold production.
Oh, that's great. Now this will be, just to put this in a larger context for the company, this will be your second asset that'll be in production, right?
Correct. So that means this year we'll have brought two mines back online. So started mining again at La Colorada at the beginning of the year, and we've started at San Augustine, and we'll start at San Augustine in Q4, which is quite incredible. These are assets that we paid only $5 million for last year,
Yes, I
and a
remember
consensus
that.
value just of those assets alone is over $300 million. So the turnaround story has been nothing short of sensational, and I think it's actually only the beginning. The amount of cash that we can generate out of these, the growth in production, I think we can grow from this year's 30 to 40 to 50 plus thousand ounces next year. And then we aim when Ana Paula comes online in 28 to be a 150 to 200,000 ounce a year producer. I don't know a 150,000 ounce producer that's worth, less than $1.5 billion at the moment. So if we can
Yeah, and
get
your
there, and
market
more
cap's like
importantly,
300 something, right? Sorry to
correct.
interrupt, but go ahead.
No, no, but the point being, if we can get there with no material equity dilution, which we're working very hard to achieve, that means we can really move our share price. So this is a significant de-risking milestone for the company.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, at least I've been writing, that you'll be a 250,000 ounce producer by 2030 as well.
So correct. Organically, I think we can get to around 300,000 ounces. We would like to
Oh,
build
wow.
Ana Paula, bring that online by 2028, and then bring on Cerro de Gallo behind that. We own those assets 100%. Ultimately, we want to be a 500,000 ounce a year producer at the end of the decade. We can get most of the way
Oh,
there
wow.
with our existing portfolio, but you're talking about a company that's trying to be one of the more aggressive gold growth companies in the business, and we've certainly got the asset base to support that.
Yes. And Charles, you're cashed up to do all this, to put this in St. Augustine into production. And then you'll be generating even more cash flow in 2026. So, from a cash standpoint and a cash flow standpoint, you're sitting pretty well.
It's this gold price is phenomenal. We've got about 30 million in the bank, up from 5 million at the beginning of the year. We think we'll need about 150 million of cash for the building of Ana Paula. We think that'll be around 250 million plus or minus. It's not a finalized number, so take that as a guide. We think we can project finance half of that. And we think we'll have bulk of the cash flow on our balance sheet. That's why I think there's a non-dilutive pathway to getting to those production levels, which is a pretty unique business proposition.
It is. That's great. And the reason I'm bringing this up, everyone, is because this has obviously major implications on the stock. Up to this point, that's why the stock has done so well. And yet, look at the upside Charles is talking about, that what's ahead for over the next 3, 4, 5 years. Um, I've been saying, Charles, and I'm sure you would agree, but I've been saying, hey, look, it's not too late to buy this stock despite the gain that it's had because of the potential upside that we have yet to see due to the dramatic increase in production that's ahead.
Yeah, I think if you just take this, so it's spot today, if the gold price stays where it is, we should make about $50 million next year from the St. Augustine. You put a 5x multiple on that, you've got our market cap. That doesn't include La Colorada, it doesn't include Ana Paula. We're about to put a technical study out that I think will further improve the economics of La Colorada. We've got the FS we're working on for next year for Ana Paula. Um, if we can get to that, 150, 200,000 ounce a year production range, that implies multiples of our share price if we don't dilute. It is a tremendous pathway in front of us. It comes from a combination, probably a threefold combination. We got an incredible portfolio of assets for nothing at the bottom of the market.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to believe how much we got for how little. Two operating mines and three development projects for basically 15 million total. We've got a really strong team in Mexico, proven operators who have worked on these assets that have generated cash flow for an extended period. They didn't get a lot of love and they didn't get a lot of reinvestment until we came along, but they made money. And then we've got this incredible tailwind with the gold price. You could argue right now is probably on a straight dollar per ounce profit margin, the best time in the history of the world to be a gold producer. So to be a gold producer that's
Yeah.
growing production is probably the perfect spot, and that's exactly where we stand.
That's great. Well, I just want to personally say congratulations, Charles, because I am a shareholder, so I'm very happy. So, and I think there's a lot more ahead. And I understand that, hey, you guys might be media stars here coming soon, or tell me what's going on there.
Well, one of the things that we've tried to do, as you and I have talked about, is be a good communicator. We try and talk through what our news means. We try and bring people insights to people who work for us, the contractors that we use. We care a lot about explaining what we are philosophically, as well as just being a business. And so we're going to put out over the next few months some videos showing our operations, our assets, the communities that we're in. We're going to hopefully make movie stars of some of the people who work for us. And personally, I learnt the other day how to make a tortilla for the first time. We
What'd
a
you call it?
lady
A
who works.
mega tortilla?
So these are the big Sonora Gordito tortillas.
Oh, gee.
I think they have about 8 million calories, but they taste incredible. And a lady who works at the mine, her mum makes them for a local restaurant, and we got to do it as
Oh,
part of the video. I wouldn't say that we were that good at it, but let's just say the ones that they made tasted a lot better than the ones that we made.
well, hey, I'm gonna have to give you my address so she can ship me one of those things. So feed us for
You
a week,
might.
huh?
Precisely. Oh God, they are so good. So no, I think I'm much better off being a gold miner than a chef. But there's fun little steps we get to take, and we look forward to bringing these out and sharing our company culture as well as their basic gold production and growth plans.
Well, we'll link to those videos when they come out. That's what, a month or two away, Charles, or
Yes, it will be.
okay. We'll certainly link to those in our write-up, and you can sign up to read our comments, my analysis on Heliostar Metals on an ongoing basis. Full disclosure, they are a sponsor of the site. We invited them, and because we wanted to own the stock, and we thought we'd provide coverage to you as an investor for free. So I am overweight the stock, and I'm breaking my own rule of not even taking profits on the stock, even though being up 350% or something like that. So, in my opinion, it's definitely not too late to buy when you look at what's ahead here. So, Charles, thanks for joining me on this video.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time on another episode of the Pay Dirt Podcast.